All right, guys, we just got some major spoilers for episode 111 of Dragon Ball Super, but the information in here gives us major spoiler information for Dragon Ball Super episode 110 when Goku achieves his new form. This spoiler information also tells us what Goku's new form may actually be, and I'm going to dive into that and explain that and break it down a little bit further down this video. First, let's read the spoilers. Thanks to Herms98 on Twitter for the translations. Let's jump right in. Dragon Ball Super episode 111, Extreme Battle of Another Dimension, hit versus Jiren on October 15th. Universe 6's linchpin hit versus the strongest warrior Jiren. After finally going into action, the mightiest man Jiren has seriously wounded Goku. Jiren next sets his sights on the strongest assassin the Universe 6 warrior hit. Goku this week, will he be able to master having his body react on his own? Goku has been injured head to toe by Jiren's attack. However, immediately before going down, he awakened to a new power called Mastery of Self-Movement, where his body reacts on his own. What could this be? All right, guys, so tons and tons of information to talk about here because it basically tells us here what Goku's new form is, and that is Mastery of Self-Movement. Now, this is something that Whis has talked about in the anime and the manga as something that's so hard to do. Even Beerus cannot do it. It's some technique where, because normally when you're fighting, you have to think about your movements, your blocks, and everything like that, you're wasting a lot of valuable time as a fighter because we're wasting microseconds using your brain. Now, if you're able to master self-movement to the point where your body parts move on their own, you will be like the strongest fighter ever. So what is happening here to Goku is he has mastered self-movement. Now this is really neat because they've hinted on this a couple times in the anime, and now Goku has achieved it. Now the importance to this is that when Goku and Vegeta achieved Super Saiyan Blue, that was perfect ki control. This is perfect mastery of self-movement, okay? And that's what the new form's secret is, guys, is it must change him and transform him now that he has achieved the mastery of self-movement. This is really exciting stuff. That means that, basically, like, he doesn't even have to, like, look at people while he's fighting. His body parts are just going to be, like, moving on their own. Now, I don't really know why that gave him a new form, but this is Goku's essentially next level. And the cool thing about this is that means Vegeta can easily obtain this form too. So if it is not the Spirit Bomb, okay, if it is not a Genki God Goku, it is instead a mastery of self-movement. That is definitely something that Vegeta will get. Now, the reason he may come out of the ashes as this new form is because maybe his body moved itself at the very last second on its own as the Genki Dama is actually striking him, and that he basically sent it to the next level. So he's awakening from the ashes as the new form because somehow in the last microseconds before the explosion, his body reacted on its own and he was able to essentially save himself, to protect himself from that blast. Now, a couple other extra tidbits of important information here is that, Goku is basically, he loses either with the new form or he obtains the new form, he shows it, and then he basically passes out or something from exhaustion. So Goku is going to lose. It says he gets seriously wounded from head to toe in his battle with Jiren, and then Hit is essentially going to set his eyes on Hit. So it doesn't sound like Hit interjects and jumps in to protect or save Goku like I thought. It appears that either Jiren still beats Goku even with this new form, or Goku just transforms into the new form and passes out. I don't know why Jiren wouldn't just throw Goku off the ledge. Maybe he's really curious. Maybe he, has a lot of thirst for battle too and wants an honorable fight with Goku in his new form, and he's going to let him just rest over there while he goes and takes on Hit and then Vegeta. So I'm not really sure if Goku loses, with the new form, which would really suck. I mean, I guess it'd be kind of neat because whenever a character gets a new transformation in Dragon Ball, usually they whoop total ass afterwards with that new form. My money's more on Goku gets up, he rises out of the ashes, and then he looks at Jiren, and then he just like faints. And then Jiren just like goes off in his merry way and goes to fight Hit. Now, the spoilers also say, will he be able to master having his body move on its own? Which to me means that he either doesn't have perfect mastery of this form yet. This could also, as a lot of people have speculated, that maybe this is not the full transformation. Maybe this is like halfway, as Goku is essentially, trying to learn how to get to that perfected level of self-movement, right? So essentially what I'm saying here is that maybe this is not the full transformation. It is possible that in episode 113, there is something even further beyond what we have seen so far as Goku's new form, and that this is not the perfected version of self-movement. This is kind of like a midway, which would kind of explain why his eyes are silver but everything else is like black, like his hair and his eyebrows and everything. Maybe it's pure silver when you've mastered this form. It's a possibility, a little bit of a stretch, but I'm not gonna leave it outside the realm of possibilities. Now, the reason this makes me so excited, this whole mastery of self-movement, is a few reasons. I'm really happy. This is almost clarifying for us, and I could be wrong here. This is almost clarifying that essentially this has nothing to do with absorbing the Genki Dama like he did in movie 7 or the purification theory or anything like that. To me, this is almost without a doubt clarifying that this new level is what Goku knew surpassing his limits was. I think Goku knew that he could achieve this eventually, especially because Whis told him. And this is important because Vegeta can get this form too. And the second reason is because Goku will not need a Genki Dama in order to reach this form in the future, which is really great news. I like that it's kind of like how Super Saiyan Blue was obtained through perfect ki control. This is now through mastery of self-movement. It's like an even way harder technique to learn as a fighter, is mastering your body to the point where like it basically moves on its own. Your brain doesn't need to like react at all. And because Goku has gotten to this new amazing level, this new amazing technique, it's transformed him, which is a little strange why it would transform him. But, then again, why would mastering perfect ki control give you Super Saiyan Blue? Why would it transform you? So I guess they're going to be going along with that whole type of, transformation in Dragon Ball Super, and that it's not really power essentially that gives you new forms or new upgrades anymore. It's more like masteries of yourself and your body and basically reaching new levels of your potential. This is the Dragon Ball Super way. In order to gain new forms, what it seems like is more about reaching your full potential as a fighter rather than raw power. But, obviously gaining these new forms, I'm sure, are going to be giving him extraordinary new power boosts as well. Or is it? Because Super Saiyan Blue didn't really seem to be that much stronger than Super Saiyan God. Now, Whis has said that it is stronger. It's higher stamina consumption. For whatever reason, it's supposed to be perfect ki control. You think that you wouldn't be leaking that much ki. But if Goku has mastered his self-movement, that doesn't necessarily mean that he's going to be a lot stronger. That could just mean that he still has the same level of power that he had before he went down, but it's just now when you try and fight him, his body basically moves on its own, and, he can like block attacks much easier. He's like nearly impossible to dodge, things like that. I mean, that's a possibility. I would like to see Goku, get way stronger, but if he doesn't actually get a power boost from this is more of just like a, fighting style, fighting technique sort of deal. That would explain that Jiren is still able to beat Goku because Jiren's ki and power are just so absolutely ridiculous. So it says Goku's going to get knocked down. He's going to be down and out. He's going to pass out. He's hurt from head to toe. He's seriously injured. Something's going to happen. He's not going to beat Jiren. So the winner of this fight, essentially, at least round one, is going to be Jiren. Jiren is going to take the W over Goku, even with Goku's new form. Or, you know, maybe Goku just passes out, and maybe we just see the new form at the very end of episode 110, and then Goku passes out. And then in episode 113 is when Goku is able to wake up, master this form, and then beat Jiren somehow. So, man, like this is crazy. I love the direction they're going here with this. I absolutely love that it does not have to do with the Genki Dama, and this is more of something that Whis talked about really early in the series. And remember, guys, Vegeta has been training with Whis even more than Goku, so Vegeta should definitely be able to obtain this form relatively soon, if not also in the Tournament of Power. So awesome stuff here, guys. I am going to release what I have of Goku vs. Jiren Part 3 tomorrow. It's only going to be like a minute and a half, I think, guys. It's really not going to be that long. I just put a lot of effort into the animations. Take a look at this little clip from the video tomorrow. The animation coming tomorrow, guys. All right, are you ready? And I'm going to end the video right after this just to pump you up.